There's lots of things that draw people to racing. The sounds, the smells, the sights. But for pretty much everyone, the one single thing that brings them to racing is the speed. You're not going to find a track faster than Michigan Speedway here today. 215 plus on the front straightaway, 200 plus on the back straight, 185 in the corners. This is the fastest racetrack in NASCAR, and tonight we race for 100 laps, and it's a dash for cash race, Finian. We got money on the line, we got the win on the line. This season is well underway. This is the 4th round. Been fantastic races so far. Anthony Burroughs, Eli Hinton, Eric Hutton. It's been a great start to the season, but today, an extra fast event here at Michigan Speedway. I don't know if you were still running push to talk there, Finian, but you're awful quiet.
Forgot to unmute myself. All right. I muted myself for the intro. Forgot to unmute myself. What I did say when I was muted was that these guys are going to be heading excess of 210 miles an hour into turn 1. It's insanely fast. This track is after they repaved it, and it put up some fantastic racing that we saw in the Fuel Cup Series a month or two back. But a quick update in the point standings. Eric Hutton's currently leading. Actually, no, he did not take the lead away. Anthony Burroughs is going to currently be in second, 5 points behind him, and then Eli Hinton's a little ways further back, 22 points behind him in third.
As you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, the drivers lit up in green are running for the Dash for Cash here tonight. And there's 3 drivers. Eric Hutton is one of those drivers, and again, winner last week in the Chick-fil-A 210 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Another driver is Elliott Butler in that 36 car. Been down the grid here a little bit in practice, trying to get his stuff back together here for qualifying in that number 36 machine. He's another Dash for Cash driver. And the last one of the 3, actually I think I mentioned all 3 already. So Eric Hutton is one of them, the 88, and then the other 2 were... Oh, I forgot to mention Anthony Burroughs in the number 62, another one of the Dash for Cash drivers here tonight. So those 3 drivers lit up in green. You see Burroughs jump into 5th place on the grid in that purple Ford Fusion. And all the drivers that are in the Dash for Cash today have green numbers on board, so it should be pretty easy to see who is in the Dash for Cash events here tonight with about a minute and 50 seconds left in qualifying. Jim George currently sitting on provisional pole. He's been quick lately as well, just has not quite gotten the finishes he needs.
Yeah, has it indeed. Hopefully his luck does turn around for this race. Yeah, as we got almost 40 cars. We almost got a full grid here tonight at Michigan. A lot of drivers ready to go.
Well, actually, if I recall back to Daytona, Finian, we started Daytona with 38 cars as well. So this is everybody here tonight. We're not missing anybody. So this is the full grid of race cars that we started back at Daytona. For a couple weeks, the car counts were still in the 30s, but this is the strongest field we've seen in weeks in general here on SimTV. So I'm really excited to get underway again with such a large group. And as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Finian, the Fuel Cup race here about a month or 2 back, that was a phenomenal race. Ended early because of some scoring issues related to an iRacing outage. But here tonight, we're not expecting anything of the sort, so we're ready to go racing for 100 laps at this 2-mile racetrack. Of course, Michigan known for its high speeds, but also the repave a couple years ago, Finian. And how does a repave change a track like this?
Well, it takes away a lot of the bumpiness that was associated with the track. That you can be really bumpy in the corners. It could really mess up your lines. And also, not only gives this track a lot more grip back from when it lost. This track was almost similar to Atlanta. If you drove it the wrong way, you can end up finding yourself very loose, especially coming off of turn 2. Drivers would be either loose or tight. Same thing off of 4. But now, with this repave, with this flatter surface, newer surface, these guys have a lot more grip with this track to work with. So you should see a little bit less chaotic racing and more kind of guys closer together. And we saw that in the Fuel Cup Series, these guys were almost drafting behind each other in groups. So we should see something similar to that here tonight.
Well, there's always a danger for yellows here as well. The way these guys race, the cars bunch up quite a bit, and that causes a lot of intense action. So we're ready to go racing here. 100 laps at Michigan Speedway for the 4th round of the Virtual Racing League Cup Series. A full field on hand tonight. We're excited and ready to go. I want to thank any new viewers from tonight. We just finished up our first dirt race from Lima Land with the Midwest Late Model Racing Series, and that was a fun race and a lot of money on hand there for the winner of that race. So we're coming from dirt to about the exact opposite of dirt. High-speed oval action here from Michigan, and I'm excited and ready to be back here for the Virtual Racing League Round 4.
Yeah, these drivers have 100 laps to go till we get to the finish, so a decent amount of laps here to work with these guys line up. I still love the way they line up down pit road. I will always say that.
It's so beautiful. I mean, I wish this could be at every racetrack. It's absolutely gorgeous. Of course, you see that 88 car on the, or close to the front row again. And that 88, been very quick lately, won last week at the race that he actually sponsored. So that was convenient. But got a different paint scheme on this week, the Valvoline number 88. I believe somewhere in the field here, Finian, we have a special race car and a special driver by the name of Eric Mickey in the number 86 car. And indeed, he is driving the SimTV Chevrolet Camaro here tonight. So we want to thank Eric for running that, and we'll put the camera on that a little bit later. We can get a better look at it. But that car painted by Jordan Ashland, and also did Xfinity cars and the trucks for me and Finian, as well as the Indy cars. So we want to give Jordan a huge shout out for doing that for us, free of charge. That was excellent and fantastic. Of course, he does charge as a business, so make sure if you want to ask him for a paint to check in with Jordan Ashland. I know he's got a lot on his plate, but Jordan Ashland, that number 27 car you see right there in that Can-Am Ford Fusion, that is the guy who painted that car. So we'll keep an eye on that number 86. Eric Mickey is very talented.
Yep, talented indeed. He's done a solid job in qualifying. He's qualified in 16th to get out of a very large field, so in the top half of the grid.
This looks like someone copied and just pasted. The way I'm looking at this, it's just they're pasted back in 38 cars in a row. It almost looks ridiculous how many cars are ready to go. As they're going to roll off here, Finian, we're going to let the starting order run across the bottom of the screen. We're not going to bother... we see the 27 and 13 backing up over the curb there. We're not going to probably have a chance to let everybody get their name up here on the screen, but we'll start on the front row. Jim George and Eric Hutton. That's your front row. As that scrolls along the bottom of your screen, the rest of the field will peel off and make their way down towards the end of pit lane. It is so beautiful. I love when they do this.
So these guys have to kind of hurry up and get lined up because they only have one lap to go, so...
All right, we mentioned that SimTV paint scheme Eric Mickey is running. And get a little bit better look at it there. That is so gorgeous. Chrome rims on there for Eric here this week. And again, his first race in the Virtual Racing League Cup Series. And we know that he's talented, and that 86 is going to be moving his way forward. And we'll keep an eye on him throughout the race. 12 car is starting on pole. Jim George, we mentioned his speed in recent weeks has been absolutely phenomenal. Just has not really found his way into victory lane just yet. He's been quick, but has also kind of worn the right side of the door off a couple times here, Finian.
Yeah, just hasn't been able to really get that finish. The finish there has had the pace, again, has it this week. So hopefully he's in a prime position right now to finish in first. Same thing has to be said too for Mark Emerson. Seen him struggle the last few weeks toward the back of the field. Been getting some okay finishes, but hoping for better. Starting in third.
Rounding turn 4, the Ford FR500 pace cars make its way around, and just like I said, we only got through 20 of the starters as the starting lineup's going to disappear. Green flag's going to fly in the 12. The Jim George will lead them down to the green for 100 laps here at Michigan.
And he's got a fantastic start. Can't say too much about Joshua Banks, though he's coming out of turn 4 now. That's how these guys were not bunched up for the start. He was trying to haul ass, but Jim George is going to lead these guys with a significant lead. Mark Emerson looks like he's going to clear Hutton for second. As
the field works their way, coming out of turn 2 already. 2 and 3 wide towards the middle of the field. Mark Emerson clears himself into second. Got Unreal Esports on the nose of that 22. Got mid-pack, there's the 2 of Reggie Ortega, the 86 of Eric Mickey, currently 15th on the outside of Jeremy Miller, who had a rough day at Atlanta last week, but trying to regain some of the confidence here this week. There's Eli Hinton tucked back there as well. Not a very good qualifying effort by the 13 driver. He was very quick the last couple weeks on the slick racetracks with a lot of grip here tonight. Curious to see if he can keep the speed going.
He's got a solid amount of traffic to work towards, though. He's got a big wall of cars ahead of him.
And one of the big walls of cars, there's a 20 of Alec Daffin, a new paint scheme on board the 20 here this week as they go rocketing down the back straightaway. There's a Toyota poking out there, I believe. That is the... I'm trying to see who that is. That 51 car of Ryan Shelton in a Toyota here this week. Off of turn 4 now, they work their way through, completing 2 laps. There's Steve Turner in that red, white, and blue number 26 just up ahead. He's fighting off Robert Gaba in the 75 in that yellow and black Camaro. Bless you, Finian.
That was actually my brother. in the background.
Oh, we got to spin the 30 car into the wall. Eli Hinton bounds the outside barrier. Caution is out here early, and the whole field scatters trying to get out of the way of the wrecking race cars. Huge impact for the 96 car, Finian. John Rodden, horrible crash. That FedEx Toyota bounced off the wall hard. So caution out here early. And it started, I saw the 30 car was the first one to go around. That was Jeremy Miller. Let's go back and take a look at what caused that. And I believe it might have been the 86 of Eric Mickey involved. And you see Mickey right behind the 13 there a little bit. And Mickey just comes up off the corner and just tags the rear end of the 30 and sends the 13 into the fence. And Hinton, wow, there's lots of drivers missing. We didn't really see what happened to John Rodden there, so let's get another look.
Yeah, from the looks of it, I think he got into, so Joshua Banks got into him. And ended up hooking him because he was trying to avoid the wreck a different way than Rodden. They ended up colliding with each other. Oh,
yep, they just kind of ran into each other there, and Rodden takes a hard impact. He probably got the worst of it. Eli Hinton, again, also, after coming off of a couple strong finishes, he didn't want to see this, and right on board here. Ooh, hard hit for the 13. The 86, I believe, was able to get away without any damage.
Oh, and already some guys coming down pit stop, some guys aren't not.
Well, that's an interesting scenario here, Finia.
And notably, Burroughs was running in fourth. He's going to make a trip down pit road, lose a decent amount of spots, although a lot of people towards the back came in.
Oh, yeah, a lot of cars on pit lane. I see a green number back there. I believe that's Elliot Butler, who was in 28th spot. He'll come down and put some tires and fuel in it. Eli Hinton, how much damage does he have? It doesn't look like a ton here, Finian. He might be able to get that car back in working order.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised that the liquid he had with the wall looked a little bit more violent, but just looking at it, it looks like his car might be fine. So we'll see how his performance is going to be throughout the night.
Well, we mentioned the qualifying effort was not great for that number 13, Finian, and started back in the 17th spot. And we talked about last week Atlanta and finishing, I believe, in second place and won the previous week at Chicago. So 13's already off to a strong start to the season, but early on here did not get the qualifying effort he needed and got caught up in a wreck early at Michigan. Jim George continues to lead. Mark Emerson second. Eric Hutton third. And Hutton right now leads that Dash for Cash. It lit up in green on the left-hand side of your ticker there, that 88 car. Sitting pretty so far here early at Michigan. I want to say thanks again to all the new people watching from tonight. It's been a pleasure to do another doubleheader here. Only the second time we've ever done a doubleheader here at SimTV. Started off the night with the Midwest Late Model Racing Series at Lima Land, now transitioning to Cup Series action from Michigan. And always fun to do a couple of different races. Now the 18 peels off from, oh, almost. Alec Martinez looked like he was going to pit road for a second, but he'll stay out.
Yeah, trying to see as these guys come across the line where everyone kind of ends up in position-wise. I believe Burroughs should end up at around 12th place.
Anthony Burroughs, of course, driving the purple Twitch number 62, another Dash for Cash driver.
So he will be 15th. And he's the first driver of the guys that pit. Everyone else 14th and up decided to stay out.
All right, so
under this caution.
Update on Eli Hinton, Finian, is still on the lead lap. Now, looking at that right front, there is actually decent damage there. That will hurt him, but it's not going to be a race over. He'll be able to fight through this and maybe gain a bunch of spots back here, especially if the attrition rate is high here tonight, which, judging by the beginning of the race, it might be.
Yeah, I was kind of, I think the more important thing really for these guys in general is just the engine, considering how high of a speed they have to get to. And I was just watching him on that straightaway. He hit 207 by himself, so I think his car should be fine. At least on the straightaways. Corners, I have no clue. So he does have a little bit of damage to that nose. It'll definitely hurt his aero a little bit. So we'll have to see how his car's going to handle there.
Yeah, this is definitely a downforce track now, Finian, after the repave. Not that it wasn't before, but this is... you want raw speed down the straightaway, but you need the handling in the corners, and you need all of the aero grip you can get, because there's a lot of mechanical grip from the tire and the new surface, but you're going to need every inch of that race car pressing the body into the ground to get you the maximum possible speed. So again, Mark Emerson in the number 22. We talked about the last couple weeks, Finian, not having great starts, but here tonight, sitting second and in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he can keep there, it should really help him points-wise. He's been kind of struggling a bit with that. He's currently in 8th. He's been slowly moving his way up the points, but could really use a solid finish to get him up there. So looking for that kind of finish tonight.
All right, we just got the 1 to green signal here at Michigan, so we'll be going green on lap number 8 of 100 here, closing in already on the 10% mark. Most of this race been run under yellow so far. 1 caution involving the 86 of Eric Mickey, the 96 of John Rodden, and the 13 of Eli Hinton. And also very impressed that happened around the 17th to 15th area, and only 3 cars got involved. The rest of the field did a very good job scattering and missing that wreck. Field works their way off of turn 2, and everyone's still in this race. The only one not currently on the racetrack is John Rodden just rejoined the racetrack, as did Eli Hinton. So everyone is still in this. No one's retired yet.
Yeah, they're currently coming out of the pit, so they got to kind of get a move on so they can join these guys back up for the start.
They might be able to get a running start at it, Hinton and Rodden, because they're going to... I don't think they'll make it all the way around before they get the... Well, they might get around, so... Might get a running start out of here, Finian, but Jim George and Mark Emerson, and the high side, the low side, it's all kind of in play here, but I guess most of the drivers will be looking for the middle, kind of the best of both worlds here. No progressive banking, it's all about the same, so you're just going to find grip where you can get it, and that middle groove seems to be where most drivers gravitate to. Pace car pulls off. You're restarting lap number 8. Jim George out front once again. Mark Emerson on the outside. Eric Hutton in row 2 alongside Alec Martinez. Green flag flies again here at Michigan.
And Izinga there on the outside didn't look like he got too good of a start there. He's got a back bumper full of Jordan Ashland behind him.
Ashland's moved up a bunch of spots since the start of the race. And as we work through turn 2, here comes Mark Emerson to the inside of Jim George down the back straightaway.
Yeah, looked like he was trying to look for a position, couldn't quite get it done there, but here comes Eric Hutton now to the inside.
Strong move by that 88 car again. Dash for cash driver here tonight, that green number on that vehicle. As we work our way through 3 and 4, he'll clear Mark Emerson, and here comes Connor Horn, also by the 22. So Mark really struggling after that initial run out of turn 2.
Yeah, lost 2 positions in 1 lap, hoping not to lose another. He's got Alec Martinez behind him, hungry for a spot. So here comes Horn now, going to send it to the inside, almost dooring Hutton. He does door him in the middle of 1 and 2. A
little bit of contact there between the 88 and the 42. Is there damage to the nose or to the right side of that 42 car? Might actually be, but we got several cars wide here deep in the field. Steve Turner and Chris Gutierrez 3 wide with the 60 car of Ben Bafford. And to the outside, here comes Angelo Ronis in the 31 Peak Antifreeze car. 3 wide in turn 4.
These guys got to be a little bit careful here. They're all going to kind of find out for position, try to find the line they want to take, and going to stick with it to head off into turn 1.
Connor Horn and Eric Hutton side by side again, but Horn might take the spot away, and he does. That's going to leave Hutton and Emerson to battle for 3rd.
You see Hutton trying to close off Emerson, and he's going to successfully defend from that.
AJ Stravato in the 33 on the inside of Alec Martinez, trying to grab that top 5 spot away. Jordan Ashland right behind him. He'll drive in right on the quarter panel into turn 3, upsetting the balance of AJ Stravato's race car as they work through turns 3 and 4. Behind them, Ben Izenga, you mentioned the poor restart. That's going to bring Reggie Ortega up. He'll take away 8th spot. Alec Daffin breaks his way inside the top 10 early.
Yeah, Ortega, another one of those drivers that could really use some luck. He's been also kind of struggling in the points, and just hasn't been able to get a solid finish, and he's always been kind of caught up in something or someone else's mess. So currently in 38th in the points, looking for some luck.
Off of turn 2, Ronis, Gutierrez, and there's Elliott Butler there as well. They're all battling here. Bailey Turner in that Exalta number 24. Deep in the field, we expect him to be farther up, so he'll climb his way forward as the race moves on. He'll drop way down, does Turner, following Chris Gutierrez down the long straightaway. Here's Evan Black in 21st in that number 92 Primetime TV car.
Yeah, he's going to try to draft up to Ronis in the 31, try to get a run on him out of the corner.
Battle for the lead here. Finian Jim George has now relinquished some of that lead to Connor Horn. Horn is closing in now for that top spot. Out of turn 4, Horn will have a run at him. He's going to have a long draft down this front straightaway. We'll ride on board here. Look at the speed climbing. A little bit of debounce here, so it's kind of all over the place, but 213, I believe, was the best speed we registered. To the inside, contact with the 12. Almost spins him out in turns 1 and 2, Finney, and Horn being very aggressive here early in the going.
And you saw that just kind of demonstrated how planted these cars are. He gave him a little bit of a tap. It didn't do anything to George. George is just gonna soldier on like nothing happened.
Big block down the back straightaway. I believe that was Ben Baffert in the 60. Came across the nose of the 09 of Jaron Hazen, excuse me. 3 wide in turn 4. There's also the... who is that on the outside? That's a car I haven't seen before. 21 car of Brian Chambliss.
Yeah, that's Chambliss from, I believe, the fuel side of things. Haven't seen him in a long time. I recognize that name from somewhere, didn't know where, but yeah, big group of cars here.
Connor Horn back to the quarter panel of the leader, down the back straightaway once again. He's going to have a run at him, but we've seen Horn be very impatient here in the going. He wants that lead, that clean air. He knows he can do something with it. He drives in deep into turn 3, but Eric Hutton is close behind if he makes a mistake.
Yeah, Hutton was actually thinking about making a move going into 3, but thought better of it at the moment. He's going to try to get a run on the 42, maybe making a move on the inside of him.
Field scattering behind.
There's a battle actually back here between the 33 of Stravato and 27 of Ashland.
And bring Anthony Burroughs into this mix. Burroughs has been consistently, I'd say, the quickest car out here the past couple weeks. And we got a battle again. Connor Horn to the inside for a moment. Going to try to drive off into turn 3. Does he have the speed to push from the 88 of Eric Hutton? Unsettles the 12, gets spun. Can he hang on to it? Eric Hutton also corrects it.
Save it. Wow.
What an incredible save by those two drivers. They're going to lose a lot of spots here, though. 4 wide on the front straightaway as we try to sort this out. Real quickly, while we still have the time, we're going to go back and show you what just happened between the 88 and... Oh, we got a caution on the racetrack. We're going to skip back live and see what happened. And try to figure out who was spun out. And is it the 30 of Jeremy Miller again, Finian?
Yeah, it is.
So Jeremy Miller spun. Let's take a look. The 13 of Eli Hinton goes down and just gets into the back of him and just turns him left across the racetrack. So not really sure what happened there. But obviously a disagreement of some sorts.
I think it was the 30 that ended up coming. It was kind of a... I think the 13 was kind of there on the inside, and then the 30 slightly turned in front of him, and it was just enough of the nose to spin him out.
Yeah, so clearly, I don't think it's going to be hard to explain that to the 30, but obviously a little bit of disagreement there. Well, let's head back, and we're going to show you that another replay here from Mark Emerson's on board, watching the 88 and the 12 get together. You see Eric Hutton driving in deep into the corner, just does not get turned and almost completely destroys the rear end of that 12 car. They both gathered up an incredible job, but Mark Emerson also lost a bunch of spots just avoiding that. Wow, a lot of action early here at Michigan. Connor Horn now has the lead. And I think we'll see pit stops here. I think it's pretty much unanimous. You're going to want tires even after a couple laps here, huh, Finian?
Yeah, and I mean, even I was going to point it out before that incident took place between the leaders spinning sideways in 3. Burroughs started all the way back in 15th, was the first guy that came with tires. He was battling up there for 5th. So tires, that was only a few laps, but it might matter. Might also matter, count that Anthony Burroughs is a good driver as well. But those tires definitely probably helped him out at least a little bit. So he's now going to come in second place. Going to see how good he is. Oh, yeah.
Missed his box. Yeah, I was just about to say, Finian. But came in second, so he might lose a couple spots here as we work our way onto pit lane again. The whole field coming down. Jim George, can he pull some strategy here? Maybe come back out on top. He lost a bunch of track position. Connor Horn comes out. Some damage to the right front splitter on that 42.
Well, here comes the race off pit road. It looks like Ashland's going to come out in second, Stravato third, Burroughs fourth, and I think Emerson fifth? No, 18 fifth.
Yep. Alec Martinez in the number 18, P5. All right, if we could, do you know, let's see, is the driver of the number 62 around in Discord to talk to is the question.
Let's see.
He is. If you want to go, actually, if you would like to run over there real quick and see if he'd be willing to give us an interview, we'll talk to Anthony Burroughs.
Trying to find out where he is. Give me 1 second.
He is with Adrenaline Racing up near the top.
Yeah, that's why. There we go.
All right, we'll wait for Finian to return with him and see if he'll talk to us here. And again, Anthony Burroughs making a great progress forward. Hey, Anthony Burroughs, it's Kyle from SimTV. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, Anthony, so far it's been a great race for you. You started back in 5th, but you made your way forward and got some fresh tires and charged up to 2nd. A little bit of a mishap on your pit stop there. You'll be restarting 4th, but tell us how your race is going so far.
Yeah, I didn't quite have the speed in practice, so I was kind of hoping I'd have a race pace at least. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good so far in the race. Didn't make the best pit call at the beginning, went down to 15th, but tires mean a lot here. I didn't think they'd mean that much, so went from 15th to 2nd during that run. So definitely be pitting even if we get like 3 or 4 laps. So yeah, and slid through my box a little bit during the most recent pit stop, but only down to 4th. So hopefully can make something happen here. All
right, Anthony, we'll let you go back loose. And again, you are one of the Dash for Cash drivers here tonight, so good luck in claiming that, and hopefully we'll see you at the end of the night.
Thank you.
All right, so that was Anthony Burroughs, one of your Dash for Cash contenders, and currently the top driver in the Dash for Cash efforts here. Burroughs, Butler, and Hutton in that order, and Eric Hutton back in 31st spot now after that contact, and was probably getting most of that fixed there, Finian. So not a great start for that 88 car. Had a lot of speed, but getting together with the 12, he's going to have a long way to climb forward.
Yeah, definitely saw it again. It's one of those things where, usually most iRacing fields are in their 20s. So if you fall to the back, you're kind of around 20th. But we have almost 40 cars here tonight, so he's all the way back now in 31st. So he has a long way to go, like you said, back to the front. And not too many laps to go, really. We're already a 5th of this race, and it almost feels like we took the green flag just a few minutes ago. So he's got to really put his head down and try to drive back up to the front. I mean, he's had some pretty good consistency. Has 3 top 5s out of the 3 rounds we've already had this season. So very consistent driver. So for his sake, he's hoping that he can continue that consistency.
He's going to have a long way to go. He's got to get 30 spots back to get himself back up in the hunt for the victory. Connor Horn leads Jordan Ashland at number 27. He's on the outside. We haven't seen him running very well lately, and thankfully this week AJ Stravato and Jordan Ashland's paints are loading, which is not like last week. So, but yeah, Jordan Ashland, that Can-Am number 27 Fusion, has not started off the season with the pace we thought he might, but so far here tonight, putting on a good show and going to be starting on the outside of row number 1. Two cautions so far here tonight. First one involving the 13 of Eli Hinton, who, update on the 13, is back in 26th spot. And John Rodden also taken out in that, but running 36th. Still on the lead lap. And
significant damage to his car, so he's just kind of hoping for the best and just trying to make up spots here at the end.
Yeah, and no one has bailed out of this race yet. Everyone's still on the lead lap, so 37 drivers. Jeremiah Vincent being the last one running in that number 8 Wrangler car, and maybe just trying to make it to the end, stay out of trouble. Let's head back up to the front. Pace car pulls off. Connor Horn in the 42, gonna lead them back down. Green flag in the air here again at Michigan, lap number 20.
And he completely snuck into the rest of the field. He's got a fantastic lead over everyone else. There you see Mark Emerson dive to the inside of Burroughs, now heading into turn 1.
Looked up the middle there for a second. Can he get it turned back down to the bottom? Ashland trying to fight off the 33 of AJ Stravato as they work their way through turns 1 and 2. Stravato's loose on the bottom. Can he get the push down the straightaway from that number 22?
Well, if it's a matter of does Emerson kind of want to help him, or does Emerson want to try to pass him, it's kind of up to him. There you see Burroughs on trying to work on the outside of Stravato. Ashland just clear of the 33.
This is...
Oh, Stravato loose, very loose.
Oh! By Mark Emerson. Can he hang on? What a drive by the 33. Holy cow. He hangs on. He's going to lose a bunch of spots here, but he was wiggling that wheel back and forth and will hang on to that race car.
George tried to clear him and got a little bit of a hit from him. He's going to wiggle into settle down, but yeah, that could have been very bad. He almost spun back across the field. He is still wicked loose, though, in that car.
Here comes Elliott Butler. He's trying to do something with them now. But he'll sit in behind. There's a 51 of Ryan Shelton going around the outside. Here comes Gutierrez in the number 6. Has had a couple bad weeks and trying to get himself back up into the running. And then, of course, the SimTV 86 Chevrolet Camaro. Whoa, look at the 36 loose, Finian. Wow, he almost crashed as well. Holy cow, this is getting exciting out here.
Yeah, Stravado was loose ahead of him, so Butler tried to go around him on the top side. He knocked, and then Butler knocked himself loose. So very loose conditions here that some of these drivers are facing. Not all of them. It just seems Stravado is really the one that's very loose.
Travato back to 11th, but finally back alone by himself where he can focus on just getting that car around the track without running over himself. And we'll continue now. Eric Mickey up to 12th in that number 86 car. Had a rough start, but now we're getting the hang of it.
Yeah, I got involved in that first incident a little bit. Got spun out almost, but collected it. He's now charging back up through the field almost into the top 10.
There's a couple of guys driving down to the apron there. Is that the... Someone was way down there. Alec Daffin in the 20, I believe it was. Ryan Shelton pulls up right in front of Steve Turner off of turn 2. Careful, guys. Almost banging off the wall. There's an orange car back there that... Oh, wow, the 30. Oh, the 17 gets turned in front of the entire field. And Ben Izenga crashing in turn 3. Others collected. The 17 smashes the safer barrier. And that's going to be the end of the night for Ben Izenga. Ben Baffert also received damage in that incident. And others, but let's take a look.
Oh, and Evan Black was involved in that, unfortunately.
Terrible luck for that number 92 here this year.
Yeah, he is really, I think, probably have one of the worst luck. He's yet to be involved of an incident of his own doing. He's only been victims in all of his wrecks.
Oh, man. Again, amazing how few more people weren't taken out in that wreck. Let's ride on board with the number 92. Again, just terrible luck for Evan Black as he's collected in yet another incident. Again, Chicago was a bad week for him, as was Atlanta. But here, riding on board here, you see the 2 car just try to shoot the gap up the middle there. Just no space for Ortega to fit. And the rest of the field behind him. And the 17 might be our first retirement for the night, as there is pretty heavy damage sustained to that race car. All right, crew chief, you coming to pit road?
Oh, I'm absolutely coming to pit road. I think Burroughs said it best, how much tires mattered. Although notably, someone stayed up there trying to see who that is.
Robert Gabon, the number 75. He stayed out on the racetrack all by himself.
Interesting. I gotta imagine that's probably for a leading a lap. I figured he might probably want to come down pit road because everyone else behind him has.
It's a lot of track position to give up, but it is still pretty early, so you might be able to get away with it. Rest of the field comes in. Connor Horn was the leader, and Robert Gaba, again, by himself out there trying to steal away a point. Eric Hutton comes into his stall. Can Eric Hutton maybe do some tire strategy here? Maybe a 2-tire stop to get some track position back?
It's a little bit risky, but honestly, I would say that's a decent call. It's better than taking no tires, so we'll see what he does. And no, he's going to take all 4 as everyone's scrambling out of the pits.
Jordan Ashland beats Horn off pit road, and Anthony Burroughs right behind Horn. Martinez hangs on to a top 5 spot. Reggie Ortega looked like a 2-tire stop for that number 2 car, so trying to get himself out of the fray. And drivers being careful to not go outside that blue cone there. You don't want to get yourself a penalty.
Also, notably, who also pulled a 2-tire stop was the 36 Elliott Butler. So he moved up from about 22nd. He's going to be somewhere. I'm trying to figure out where
13th.
he would end up. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so he's pulled a solid move as well.
Yeah, I like this move for Elliott Butler. Was not making any progress forward. Was really in harm's way, and I think that Unreal Esports Media Camaro needed some track position to get himself up farther. And he'll be restarting on the outside of row number 6. Eric Mickey up in 13th. Actually, they're trading spots, Eric Mickey and Elliott Butler. So Mickey will be restarting 12th, so move Butler back 1 row. All right, well, it's been high-intensity action so far here tonight. We're about a quarter of the way through this race. Jordan Ashland now your leader as Robert Gaba comes down pit lane. And you mentioned Finian getting the point for leading the lap. Angelo Ronas in the number 31 started in 31st, running 16th right now. Bailey Turner in the 24 started 22nd up to 15th. Chris Gutierrez started 19th up to 13th, so a lot of movement around here in the 15th to 10th area. Drivers trying to make some ground back up.
Yeah, I would say at the moment, Elliott Butler is the biggest mover in the field.
Elliott Butler back from 32nd to 12th, so up 20 spots for that number 36 car. Again, a little bit of strategy being played here, but I like the move. The track position seems hard to get. It's going to be hard to pass until the tires start to wear out, and I don't know if we're going to get long enough green flag runs for that to really happen, so we're curious to see if that's what will occur. It looks like everyone's kind of getting themselves stacked back up. I imagine we're going green next time by, so we'll wait for that 1 to green signal. All right, well, Jordan Ashland, the number 27. We talked about, Finian, how he's had a slow start to the season, but right out front here, what do you do to hold on to a lead here at Michigan? I know the draft isn't insanely strong, but how do you drive defensively at a big two-mile track like this?
I think the best way to probably try to drive defensively is try to use a little bit of momentum from the outside line and just kind of use that momentum carrying you down the straightaway as long as it is to kind of keep you ahead of your competitors. It is, again, like you said, it is very hard to try to defend, considering especially how wide this track is. And you can also include the white line on the front straightaway as well. You can go below that here. So you can use up a lot of racetracks. So it's very hard to defend on this kind of track. And that's why we end up seeing a lot of passing.
See the field off in the distance, making their way through turns 1 and 2. Beautiful Michigan out here. It's nice and green, unlike outside my window right now. So very jealous of the people in the stands here right now as the field works their way onto the back straightaway. We'll restart on lap number 29, closing in on the 33% mark of this race. Connor Horn will start on that outside lane in that 42 DC Solar Camaro, and Horn's been very aggressive here tonight. He is not going to be giving away a lead this easy on a pit stop sequence, so expect Connor to be very aggressive. Jordan Ashland, Alec Martinez will be in the 4th spot, starting behind the 42, so be looking for him to be making his way forward, as well as Anthony Burroughs in that 62. We talked about him. He's hungry. He's a Dash for Cash driver. He's going to be going for the win.
Yeah, interested to see also where Ortega ends up in all this, as well as Butler, because they're the guys that took 2 tires on the last stop, so we'll see how that strategy prevails.
Pace car is going to pull off. We'll wait for Jordan Ashland to smash the go pedal and go green here again at Virtual Racing League Cup Series round number 4. Pace car is off. Green flag back in the air as Jordan Ashland takes them down. And Connor Horn jumps right to that bottom line in front of Anthony Burroughs. Alec Martinez looks up to the high side, and the rest of the field moves up the block.
There you see Burroughs now look to the inside of Horn as they go into turn 1. And I don't think Burroughs is going to be able to do that, but here comes Martinez with a charge.
We got, wow, someone almost drilled the wall on the back straight. It was the 53 of Ivan Jones. Almost got into it, but off into turn 3. Connor Horn hangs on to 2nd. Battle for 4th. Behind them, Ryan Shelton to the inside of Alec Martinez.
Yeah, and a lot of movement through the field here.
Battle for the lead, Finney and Connor Horn to the outside of Jordan Ashland. Ashland leads the lap. Horn's going to have that long way around when he get down to turn 1. Can he hang on? He's going to drive up against the safer barrier. Lap car down on the inside. Brian Chambliss in the 21, trying to get back up to speed. Almost contact between the front 2. Horn clears Ashland as they head down the back straightaway.
Yeah, that almost could have been disaster there, but it was just clear of him.
Oh, the 12 car spinning on the back straightaway, Finian. He's going to hit that inside wall hard as the caution flies here again. Massive impact for the 12 of Jim George. That'll be a retirement for sure.
And the lap right before, too, he was very loose. He slid pretty much did exactly what he did before, but slid to the inside part of the track.
Yeah, just all by himself, lost it and slams the rear bumper of that car into the safer barrier. So Jim George started off this race so promising, was hit by the 88 earlier, which caused him to be back in the pack here and just lost the handle on the nose of the race car. Slipped up, bounced off the wall. All by himself, down to the inside. And spun it back around just in time to smash the rear end. So not what Jim George needed. We talked about him having speed, Finian, but speed doesn't win your races if you can't finish them.
Yeah, and again, that's kind of been the story of his season so far, 4 rounds in. But yeah, very, very unfortunate for the 12 car. And just kind of yeah, so looking at his season, 0 top 5s or 0 top 10s. And I mean, he has been running in the top 10 for most of those races, but just hasn't been able to finish there.
All right, Fane. Well, with that, we're going to jump to break real quick. It's the 1/3 mark here, the Virtual Racing League round number 4. Pit stops almost underway. A couple people peel off, but majority of the field stays out. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Welcome back live here to SimTV under caution for the third or fourth time tonight.
I would put money on 4.
Okay, fourth time tonight. So far, we've had a lot of action on the racetrack, but it's resulted in a lot of torn up race cars and a lot of upset people. So we're going to try again here on lap number 35 as we roll back around. Connor Horn has the lead, stole it away from Jordan Ashland on the last restart. Anthony Burroughs is going to be 3rd. Alec Martinez going to be 4th. Mark Emerson sitting in 5th. Ryan Shelton 6th. Ortega 7th. Daffin 8th. Butler 9th. And Eric Mickey in the SimTV 86 will break himself inside the top 10 here on lap number 35. So working their way back around here, Finian. All right, I want to ask you, I know the race has been all over the place here, but do you have any predictions of who's going to win this race? Because I got my money on the 62 car.
I'm kind of angry you chose him because I was going to choose him. All right, let's see. Let's look here. I mean, if you're gonna go with that, I think I kind of have to go with the 42 of Connor Horn because he's been up there all race long. I would say, if anything, the 88 of Hutton, but Hutton's not up towards the front of the field at the moment. He's kind of got a lot of traffic to work through. So I'd say second best bet would be the 42 Connor Horn.
All right, so you take the 42, I take the 62. Pace car is going to pull off again. We'll watch from above this time on the restart as the green flag flies once again. Connor Horn in control. There he goes, off from the restart. Outside lane doesn't really get a very good start. The 20 of Alec Daffin gets a push from Eric Mickey as he rocket down towards turn 1. Reggie Ortega on that number. He's got 2 less tires than everybody around him, trying to hang on to that spot. But Eric Mickey trying to go around the outside, make up a couple more spots. We rocket off of turn 2, down the back straightaway. Connor Horn driven away from the rest of the group here.
And this is one of the first times where he hasn't really had many people to battle with. He's just got a lot of clean air around him, and we'll see if he can actually keep that. Or if the guys like the 62 and even, is it the, no, it's not 35, that's the 27 of Ashland behind, if they're able to ride their way back up to the 42.
Anthony Burroughs has the second place spot, but isn't quite clear of Jordan Ashland yet. Can he clear him down into turn 1? Because he's got, oh, we got the 51 loose behind him, Finian. Almost hangs onto it, drifts up the racetrack. He does, but can he get out of the way of the rest of the field as we come off of turn 2? This is chaos down the back straight.
Yeah, at this point we need a compilation of guys saving, because that's the third time tonight someone's been almost sideways.
Oh, caution flies again here, Finian. Steve Turner on the back straightaway pounds the inside wall again. We've seen this story a couple times. This is going to be a very similar situation, I believe, to the 12. Right on board with Steve Turner here. Oh, he gets doored, actually. But who was that? Was that Justin Egan in the 71? Let's get another look at it.
Hardin. Yeah, it was the 71.
Yeah, it was. Looked like indeed like it was. But the 71, did he turn left? He did. Oh, I don't know. I have to. Oh, that's a tricky one. I have to get an upper view. They just kind of came together there, Finian. I don't know. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, 26 looks like it came up just a little bit, but it looks like the 71 came down with a little bit more momentum. So if I were to blame someone, it would probably be the 71 because he could have been up a little higher.
Yeah, I don't know. That's. I would just chalk that up. Probably be a racing incident at that point. I don't even know if I could put blame. It's certainly a tricky situation there, but cautions flying again here at Michigan. And this time we might see some more pit stops. Yes, their whole field comes down. Enough heat cycles on the tires now. I think you'll see some people come. Couple towards the rear, Finian. They'll stay out. Eli Hinton in the 13 going to be one of them.
And I kind of wonder if that's potentially to get those laps led, or maybe say, that's kind of a bold strategy to pull.
Well, Eli Hinton has 6 laps on the tires, and he might have come down at the last stop, so he might actually have pretty fresh tires. Again, only really ran about a lap and a half, 2 laps under green, so you got a couple more cars behind you. You got Jaron Hazen in the 09 and the 60 of Ben Bafford and the 75 of Gaba. I don't think it's the biggest gamble we could see.
And race off of pit road. Wow, that was fantastic. These guys were side by side at the line coming out of the pits.
Give it to Burroughs in the 62. Jordan National will come up behind him. Connor Horn behind him as well. So Connor Horn has been struggling on pit lane here today.
Yeah, it really has been. But that was a fantastic race off pit road. A photo shot at the line. So Ashland's been nailing nearly every single one of his pit stops.
Mark Emerson will slot out in front of the 18 of Alec Martinez, so that there's a position change there as well.
And how about Eric Mickey now all the way up? He should be in, I believe, 6th place if the guys who elected to stay out come down.
Well, Robert Gabbett down on the apron. We'll see where this is going to be an important change here, Finney, because if these guys stay out, that'll be an interesting restart. If they come down pit lane, it'll be just like all the others. So we'll watch and see what Gaba, Hinton, Hazen, and Bafford do. And looks like Bafford's... No, they're all going to stay out. So that was not for points, that was for strategy here. But you mentioned Eric Mickey here, Finney, and essentially 6th of the guys that came off a pit lane. And that 86 SimTV car, that is such a gorgeous paint scheme. Again, Jordan Ashland work there. Actually, Finney, if you wanted to go talk to Eric Mickey, we could drag him in here and give him an interview real quick.
Let's see, where is he?
Up in the general chat.
Yep.
Hey, Eric Mickey, you got a copy?
Yes, I do, guys. How's it going?
All right, it's going great up here, and looks like so far it's going pretty good for you down there as well. Up to P10 right now. You started back in the 16th spot, but it has not been an easy climb forward. Tell us about your night so far.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's so close, especially for the first 5 laps after a restart. Just early in the race, 30 car got loose in front of me coming off of, I think it was turn 2, and I was trying to lift a little and try to get above them so I didn't run in the back of them. And hit another car, and apparently I caused that first yellow, which I feel bad about. Not happy that I did that. Other than that, when we've been able to get some laps in, I've been able to carve my way up through the field once I get out of being stuck on the inside. But a lot of aggressive, probably over-aggressive moves out here that are causing all these yellows we're seeing.
Yeah, is it hard to get yourself into a rhythm with all these yellows? Because it seems like once these guys get themselves sorted out, especially that first run, a little bit easier to get your bearings and move your way forward.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody, especially because we haven't been able to get a long run. Everyone knows the best time to get spots is on a restart, and when you have cars that are on a track like this, they spread out. They go take lines that can't work. You get really loose if you go to the inside, and then at the slightest bit of somebody getting loose, it just seems like everyone's jumping for the possibility to gain time, or at least they're not allowing themselves to give up any time in favor of keeping things green. I don't know, hopefully the second half of the race will be cleaner. We can get some good longer runs in, and then everyone will kind of see where they stack up for real.
All right, well, you're coming to the restart. We'll turn you loose. Good luck out there, and keep it out of the wall.
Thank you.
All right, so that will return him back. And, hey, Andrew, we see you popping in here. Are you here? I don't know. How's it going?
Yeah, good.
You have anything to say, or are you just hanging out and you're listening?
Are we live?
Yes, but we can not be if you'd like to.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll cut to break real quick for you. All right, we're back. Just had to talk to Administrator Andrew there for a second. Restart here. Robert Gaba in the 75 out leading. The 13 of Eli Hinton. Jared Hazen in the 09 up to third. Jordan Ashland now in the 27 moving up to fourth with the 42 of Connor Horn right on the rear bumper as they come off of turn 2. 2 and 3 wide.
And Ben Baffer lost a lot of spots there. Lost positions to already, the 27, the 42, and the 62. And here comes the 24. Bailey Turner behind him trying to look for position.
Off of turn 4, Turner comes up in front of Alec Martinez, who did not get the greatest of restarts. Neither did Eric Mickey. Lost a spot there. Jordan Ashland down on the apron on the front straightaway trying to gain time.
And here we go. Burroughs in the middle, 3 wide with Connor Horn trying to look to the inside now, trying to get position.
Alec Martinez battling with Eric Mickey back here. Look out, Alec Daffin right on the rear bumper, the 86. Almost contact. Saw someone way down on the apron. Not sure if they came back up on the racetrack or not. That's the 30 of Jeremy Miller, who I believe is a couple laps down. No, he's on the lead lap, battling for spots. Just got real loose.
And Jordan Ashland right now, he's setting his sights now on. Oh, we got a big wreck behind.
Oh, huge crash. Eli Hinton involved Connor Horn, the 20 of Alec Daffin. Horrible crash on the front straightaway as the rest scatter behind them trying to get through it without crashing. All right, let's go take a quick look at it. Oh, Eric Mickey taken out as well up the road.
Yeah, that was the big one pretty much there. A lot of big names taken out on that wreck.
Let's look up from high above, and we'll see what's going on here. And I know Eric Mickey was involved in this. I think it started out front. We're coming in on it late, and you see Eric Mickey scattering, already sliding through the grass, nowhere to go. But it's going to be hard to get a good look at this. I think we'll have to follow the 42 here, Finian, to see what really happened.
Cut it.
All right, jumping back here, had a little discussion as we see a race off of pit road. Looks like we have some technical issues here as well on our side, as some other things we have to take care of. So we're going to end this broadcast here a little bit early here tonight, unfortunately, and sometimes these things kind of happen here, but Connor Horn involved in that wreck, so that'll be another stain on the record there for the 42 this week. Was having a good run, but again, Finian, we don't like to end things early, but of course, if you want to check the running order, you can always go to the Virtual Racing League league page and find results on Dan Lisa as well. Those are posted in the video description. You can check out the results of this race post-event. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night with 3 wide Triple Crown action from Eldora.